think it was a really impactful trip for our team. Got some really competitive work, 2 days of really good joint work, and then to come away with a win and see a lot of really good things that we're looking for out of our team. Despite sitting a few guys there, I saw a lot of really good things that kind of leaving the stadium Saturday night, it was confirmed watching the tape, a lot of really good individual performances, guys fighting to find roles and a place on this football team. So this will be a competitive week. We've got a good plan in place for how we're going to go about the week and then on into the game on Saturday. And we'll get back to work here in Eagan today. Really excited about adding Stephon Gilmore to our team. Also added Justin Hall today, a guy we've worked out a couple times at the receiver position to see what he can do this week. But Stefon, had a great visit with him a few days ago. We stayed in contact, and he worked through a process that led him to wanting to join our team. I know our coaching staff, Flo, myself, we're very, very excited to have him added to the group, a guy that, as decorated as he is, coming off of a really strong year in Dallas last year, and will only add to the group, as well as hopefully working Shaq back in as we roll through the week and on into next week as well. So we've been able to sustain, even though we've had some things at that position throughout the summer and into training camp, obviously be some setbacks and some significant losses. We feel good about where that group's looking now.
Has he fully recovered from the shoulder injury he had last year?
I do believe so, yeah. He went through, that was part of the visit, the physical process and making sure that he feels good and ready to go.
What is your interest in Stefon?
Yeah, even going back to free agency last year, post the season, you start talking about some of the guys that would be potentially available. He was definitely a guy we wanted to monitor, figure out exactly, what his market would end up being, and a guy like that's played such good football for so long, former defensive player of the year. He's, a lot of times those guys are going to be selective about where they're going to continue playing, and that's why I feel strongly. I know it was competitive. A lot of teams maybe, checking in on him and figuring out if they could potentially add him to their team, and we wanted to just kind of make sure he knew what this opportunity would be, not only on the field, but I think he's got an unbelievable opportunity to impact our team with the type of person and player and leader that he's always been. I think he's going to be able to have a huge impact on our team. Well, I think he's been in a lot of different defensive schemes. I think he has good familiarity with flow and some of the things that we may call schemes we may run, and I think he's excited to learn kind of what Flo's done with the defense here over the last couple years and into this season. So be excited to get him out rolling.
What did you see in the joint practices for your defense since you've been
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, schematically, thought the guys making it come to life, making it hard on the other side, not giving anything easy from a standpoint of, obviously you can try to be a pressure team. You can try to have things in your scheme that want to apply mental and physical pressure to the other side, but then what are the complements off that? What are you doing to take away the easy throws? What are you doing to take away the easy runs? And I think our guys made a lot of that stuff come to life. And then just the physicality of getting off blocks and not guys that you've been practicing against every day. Their game. Our offense. Seeing a totally different structure of offense and reacting and playing fast and physical and practicing the right way means you're totally in control and command of the things we're asking you to do. So it was a lot of those things, a lot of really good individual performances, some young players kind of ascending that carried production in the practices right on into the game. So a lot of really good stuff came out of it. Yeah, I just think it felt like he was playing fast. It felt like he was, whether his number got called to maybe, be part of a pressure, or, he was part of communication pre-snap, and then, getting everybody on the same page, and then the ball is snapped, and the ball maybe goes to the flat on a third down, and he's flying from the second level to arrive violently at the ball legally, and then the visual nature of playing the safety position in our defense, being ready for tips, overthrows. I thought the rush and coverage in the game as a whole was tied together, not just on pressures, but guys like AC and Richter coming off the edge, and then Levi and Redmond showing up again. Just guys being active, even when they're blocked, active hands, just causing some a not clean look for the quarterback or for the offense. And then we got our hands on some footballs in the second level and the third level. So won the turnover battle in the game 3-0. Had an op. Duke almost had another one in the kicking game phase, and saw some great examples of the play style that we're looking for, and really both offense, defense, and in the kicking game as well. So there was a lot of things, but as far as Lou, I was just happy to see him flying around and having fun. I mean, he was having a blast out there. The guys on the sideline were fired up for him. So really cool for Lou to go out there and do that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of layers to it. We talk a lot about quarterback journey around here, but I think every NFL player goes on a journey regardless of, where they're selected in the draft, or how they, are they acquired via trade or a free agent or even an undrafted free agent. We've seen some great examples of that here. Year one, the injury was significant, and I think it was significant because it took away time on the grass for Lou to continue to just get comfortable in NFL defense regardless of the scheme, and then, has a change of scheme from year one to year two, and working his way back at the same time from that injury. I think it was always going to take some time, and moments like Saturday and seeing him put good days of practice at Cleveland, on the books, and then come out and play the way he did. I think it's just a great example of, Lou's continuing to work at it every single day and constantly chasing improvement, and it showed up. Yeah, I just think regardless of the scheme, the hope is your players can go out and play fast, play physical, tackle well, see things, read their keys, and be aggressive to go make a play. And he did that. He did that, double-digit tackles, sent him on a couple pressures, got a sack, and then got his hands on a football. So I just thought he was active, and that active nature of Lou with his size and speed and ability to tackle, showed up throughout the whole game.
Last couple.
I think, Ben, we're going to be kind of assessing that and making sure we don't, do too much too soon. Let him there is time, basically considering that, we still have 3 weeks of work until that Sunday game to open the season at New York. So we'll make sure I know mentally he'll be able to handle everything. It'll just be physically how we want to handle his workload through this week, on into the weekend, and then what that looks like, and then making sure we're maximizing next week as well before we get into the game week. Yeah.
Brian, coaching thing there, I think it wasn't that easy to promote on that person. What would you say to that, just of your experience having a phone?
Yeah, I don't particularly have a comment on, something that took place with another team, or I don't like to comment on, comments of other players on other teams, but I can just tell you I know the players Flo works with. He's got great relationships here. He really has. I know you guys have heard a lot of them talk about how much they enjoy playing for him, and how much I enjoy working with him every day. And that's all, that's all I can really comment on, and I just like to leave it at that.
Last one.
Yeah, I think the different personnel groups we play, whether it's nickel or dime, or we're going to play a lot of different offensive teams with a lot of weapons where you've got to try to find the right matchups within your room. So there is a ton for guys still to be working towards, and there's a lot to still be determined with our final roster and practice squad. And I would just say it's been a competitive situation, and that really doesn't change. We're maybe not going to throw Steph right into a rep count where it's got to be minute-to-minute competition, but I think guys should feel confident. We've seen some really good performances out of that room throughout camp. They've been tough to go against every day, and it's been tight coverage and a lot of activity at the line of scrimmage, press, different techniques as we're trying to maybe continue to be more competitive on some of those weighty down, known passing type downs to go along with the pressures and the different looks and personnel that we try to run. So that's my expectation, is that stays the same, and then we now have the depth to really kind of allow ourselves to think about who's going to play what role within that room on all downs and what that looks like, and a lot to still be determined for sure.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.